So we are 17 days into President Trump's second public presidency, and POTUS is wielding the pen. There's a quote that says the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, word or words is or are an anagram of sword. So 17 days in, there's a lot that's been happening. 17 days in. So I wanted to talk about a subject, about some principles actually, first principles in fact. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me about the kind of general feel of like, oh, is everything going to be okay? And I'm going to take people back to first principles. And first principles in numbers. Principles is 121, which is the Trump 121, Revelation 121, 1.21 gigawatts. So, the narrow gate. And we've got a knob in the chat. Okay, great. We'll carry on. So principles, first principles, okay. When you listen to POTUS, hey Wanda, I talked about it the other day about the frequency of President Trump's message. And during lockdown in 2020, hey Simone, everyone had the chance to listen to him every day. And we're getting a similar opportunity now to listen to him since he's back in. And there is an accompanying frequency and understanding that comes with listening to what he says, okay? And I picked up on this even before lockdown when he did the flight ban, okay? And I've never looked back since then. And I've said this before, and people, hey, and people have noticed the different Trumps, okay? All along there's been real Donald Trump and there's been POTUS, and they're almost like cosmic twins, they work together, okay? Hey Susan. And there are other ones you see, you know, for protection, for different purposes, central casting. There's good central casting as well as replacing bad ones. There's good ones for protection. But POTUS, I would almost say is like a father figure. If you had real Donald Trump the son, you got POTUS the father. That's what I would say. Because the father is 91 in numbers. And POTUS is the one that spoke yesterday or the day before about Gaza. And he was fielding questions. And I just saw something on TikTok, a zoomed in version of him. And you can see his face and his eyes go up slightly. And real Donald Trump kind of smiles downwards. I've made that distinction a few years ago, a number of times. But POTUS is 91, Space Force 91. So POTUS, and remember, President Trump is Gemini, so there's twins, there's two. Real Donald John Trump is 185, which is World Trade Center. World Trade Center was 2 buildings. Yeah, 2. Get me 2, Utah. That's in Point Break, which is 111, which is New York. 2. There's 2. There's 2. There were 2 buildings. First principles is to understand who Trump is and who POTUS is and how they work together. They're one and the same, but they're 2 beings, they're 2 different people, but their mission is paired. And so POTUS is Space Force. You can see it when you look at him. It's like, this is off-worldly. It's like There's a frequency, there's an understanding of truth and divine protection with all of this. And so when people feel fearful, just listen, just tune into POTUS, listen to him. Just watch what he says and listen. And for me, it's just so obvious. It's always been so obvious. But like I said, I've had people reach out recently and just kind of worried about things, and I'm just reiterating the message that everything is fine and more than fine. And just listen to POTUS every night. Listen to him. Watch him. Watch his expression. Zoom in if you can, and you'll see the signature of this being, of this Space Force being here on the earth doing God's work. That's who he is. And so, first principles, 193, follow the twos, 222. The Winter White House, 222. 1,000 Years of Peace, 222. Wyndham, New Yorker Hotel. Trump, New Yorker Hotel. Well, actually, Trump, New Yorker, I should say. Or the Wyndham, New Yorker. Wyndham's 88 Trump. If you did Wyndham, New Yorker Hotel, it's 282, 88 miles per hour. So my message is, and if you can hear what I'm saying, is that everything is fine and good and better than can be fathomed really right now. And it's unraveling. It's being shown to the world. So POTUS is untouchable. Trump is untouchable. And because there needed to be an avatar, a being in the Matrix to break it, Neo. Neo breaks the Matrix. Neo shows the Matrix, and he shows others how to bridge that gap. He's the one that breaks the 4-minute mile. Once that's broken, then other people can follow. But it takes one. DJT equals 34. The word one equals 34. Neo equals 34. Grace equals 34. Heat equals 34. Tom Numbers appears at the end of heat. Tam, Scottish name for Tom. Tam, 34. There can be only one. He just said it before. He said he's the chosen one. Someone had to do it. Out of all the billions of people that came to it, someone had to do it. And he was the one that was chosen to do it because of who he is and has been. And so when people went to scared mode, don't worry. Just look at it. Look at him talking. Look how calm he is. Look how powerful he is and how merciful and kind and generous he is and loving. Look what he did with all the women yesterday. No men and women's sports. So again, go back to first principles. If you're not sure on who Trump is, just listen to him. You don't need to talk or listen to talking heads, because there's lots of distractors out there that pretend to be truthers. There's many people that have been around for years supposedly disclosing stuff that pretend to be truthers. If they're against Trump, I can tell you, don't bother listening to them, okay? That's the truth. It's the most stupid thing in the world to go looking for information against Trump. I can just tell you that. If you're watching me on my channel, then you should understand that. And if you aren't sure, find out. Just listen to Trump's voice. There's a reason. So if you're pure in heart, you can understand it. Pure is 60, Orange is 60, Donald J is 60. Yeah? So all these other distractions leading you down rabbit holes of wasted time, wasted energy, are nonsense. Hey Diane, how you doing? And if you're not sure, just listen to Trump every evening for 3 or 4 nights, and you'll pick up on the frequency. And you just look at the character. Just look at him. Listen to him. That one that you see in the White House signing all the executive orders is POTUS. That's Space Force. And POTUS is almost like a twin, but more like a fatherly figure to real Donald Trump. You've got real Donald Trump and you've got POTUS. You've got two. You always had two. There's always two. There's always two. A master and an apprentice. Star Wars even tells us that.
Star Wars is 119, Nikola Tesla redemption. There can be others, and there probably are others. I mean, the golf one is different, but they're all working for the same cause, but it's the same frequency that was in 2020 when POTUS was doing all the exec orders. You had real Donald Trump out on the runway, taking on the press. That's real Donald Trump. And you had POTUS inside signing all the executive orders. So, have faith. Faith is 44. Also have hope. Hope is 44. Add them together is 88 Trump. So there you go. Excuse me. Thanks, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. God's one. Everything's good. Have faith. And the only, I guess, weapon they have is the weapon of doubt right now. So just walk away from anyone that's negative. And don't be so silly to say, oh, well, I'd like to get a balanced opinion. Good, get a balanced opinion. But if you're coming back to the table with fear, what do the scriptures say? It says if you're lukewarm, he'll cast you out. Meaning, you'll be out of your head. You wouldn't be able to focus. If you weren't sure, if you drove with the brake on, you're not going to get very far. So many have this understanding already, and I'm blessed that I do, and I've always had it. If you don't have it, just listen to Trump for 3-4 nights in a row, maybe a week, however long it takes, and you'll understand for yourself, independent of anyone else, independent of me or anyone else, that he's the person that we need to follow. All right? It's going to happen anyway. But you might as well enjoy the ride. It's going to happen anyway. If people don't believe in him, tough shit on them, it doesn't matter. But you might as well get on the bandwagon fully instead of being halfway house, because it will just messes with your own focus. Hello, how are you? Anyway, God bless. See you tomorrow. Get on Substack.